Hello, and welcome back to Wonderland Asylum. Back today with issue 89 of the Hachette Partworks release of Titanic, the ship, the legend. So, what's in the magazine? For issue 89, part 2 of the Gilded Age of Cunard, focusing on the Caronia and the Carmania. And there is a picture there of a Carmania. Some of the, I believe they're postcards from Cunard Line. The covers of the menus from Caronia, they were. There is RMS Caronia there. The French Grand Prix. Very, very different to the Grand Prix vehicles of today. Reminds me of the start of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, actually. Again, a poster for the French Grand Prix. Now, that's it for the magazine. So, another big box. Let's have a look at what's inside. Okay, so what's in the box? We have the final piece of the bridge deck, looking just like that. Looks fantastic. We have two very, very rolled up sections of deck, which will be great fun to try and get to stick down. Not. And we have our usual bag of AP screws. Okay. So, first thing we need is to glue these decks down. Now obviously this one will go here, making sure it all fits, because I've seen some people have had fitment issues with these decks. I just want to make sure that mine fit. Yep, and they do very, very well. They're just, as I say, very, very rolled up, so it's going to take a little bit of work to get them to stick down. I've had that issue before, but I use this Gorilla Wood glue to stick it down. So I'll get some of my glue into my little pot lid here. That should be enough. I think we'll do this side here first. Again, I tend to apply it with an old paintbrush. It's not much use for painting anymore. Again, you don't want too much, just enough that it will give an aid to adhesion. Because if you have too much, you run the risk of it making it too wet underneath and causing the deck to warp. But by the same token, if you don't have enough, the issue you're going to run into is the deck will pop up, particularly at the edges and corners. And you don't want that because, well, you're not going to be able to gain access to this area particularly easily to try and fix it. Again, just sure is enough to give a good sticky adhesive surface for the deck to stick down onto. I say it does have an adhesive backing, but nope, don't trust that at all. As I said, when I showed you issue 1, if you remember, 89 issues ago, I tried sticking it down with the adhesive and it just didn't work at all. So again, as always, remove the backing, hoping it doesn't decide to pull any planks away with it. run it along like that. And smooth it in to all the gaps like that. Now I've been a real clever cookie and put my clamps away. Now obviously we can't clamp there, unfortunately, just because of the way the deck's shaped. You're not going to be able to get anything in there. I can clamp the end here. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. I can find a couple of my clamps. Here we go. 2 will do nicely. So as you can see there, it's already starting to peel up because of the, for some reason, when these have come, they're extremely curved. I don't know why that is, but it is what it is, I suppose. Not much I can do about it at this stage. So I'll put a clamp on here, smooth it all along there, and I'm actually going to put a clamp on the other side as well, just to hold it down and hope that the glue does its job along there. That's what I'm going to do. Get the end of a screwdriver and just run it along here where I can't really get in with my finger to put any angled pressure, and the same over here. Just being careful not to damage the decking. I don't know why it is that when these come they're so warped. It's really annoying. But again, now we can turn it round. I'll grab another couple of clamps out my drawer. And again, using my paintbrush to apply the wood glue. Again, just enough to make it sticky. As I say, I normally put this in the tub a little bit in advance, but I had a spare kind of half an hour today that I wasn't expecting to have, so I was able to quickly do this issue. Again, the room I have all my stuff in is quite warm, so that's another reason I use the glue, is because the last thing you want is for the adhesive to dry up and you to end up with peely bits, basically, because you're never, as I've mentioned before, going to be able to get in to fix them. Again, same on this side, horribly folded up. But hey, oh, nothing I can do about it at this stage. Peel the backing off. And again, smooth it into all the corners. Press it down with plenty of force. Again, I'm going to use the clamps side there. Give as much clamping forces as possible. And again, use my screwdriver to push it in along the edge there. There you go. Again, just run that along there. So I think I'm going to have to keep my eye on this for a little while, just till I'm satisfied it's stuck down properly. Now I did run too far with the glue, but there's a bit of deck that goes there anyway, so it just comes in a later issue. Just means I'll need to redo it when it comes to that point. Okie dokie. So next, all we're doing is attaching this to the existing bridge deck. So I will get that and I will be back in just a sec. Okay, so here we have the existing bridge deck. And all we're doing is turning both of these upside down and marrying the two deck sections together. Again, I'm told it's a bit fiddly to try and get these bits in, so we shall see. Yeah, because you've got the bits of the superstructure to try and line up as well. Let's see if I can get these to comply. What's the deal? There we go. There's those ones in. Got one side in. There we are. Yeah, just a little bit of wiggling and they will eventually go together. As I say, got our bag of AP screws and we need 6 of these. Go. Again, as I always say, put some pressure upwards as well as screwing downwards and it will make it a far easier task. Just make sure everything's all fitted together properly before you start putting the screw in, because you're not wanting to having to try and pull the two surfaces together using the screw. It's not so bad on a metal surface, but on a plastic one you're just going to do damage to the plastic, unfortunately. And you do run the risk of pulling the threads out of it completely. You definitely don't want to do that. Last 2 screws just going in now. And that's her. All done. Looking just like that. Looks fantastic, doesn't it? Absolutely fantastic. Superb. So, that's us for issue 89. What's coming in issue 90? some of the walls. I think that's for the restaurant. We have an LED strip. We have the lower bit of the aft staircase, because of course the grand staircase didn't go down this far, or it finished on this level actually. We have some windows. We have a tiny little bit of decking, and we have some connectors, and we have those two metal supports that go into the bridge deck walls, and we have our screws. Fantastic. So this is now what the bridge deck looks like. Absolutely stunning, isn't it? And again, you've got the tiled floor and where the staircases go. So yeah, chuffed to bits with that. Absolutely chuffed to bits. Again, the decking, bit of an issue, but hopefully these clamps will hold the ends down, and I'm just going to have to keep watching for the next half hour or so until the glue dries properly to make sure the rest of it isn't peeling up, because it will look terrible. But yeah, as usual, any feedback, comments, criticisms or complaints, put them down below. You may have noticed that the view is slightly different. That's because I've moved my desk along. I've swapped some things about, because with the length Titanic's getting, I wanted to be able to use the full length of the room where I need to work and manipulate things. And that was the only way to do it. But yeah, as always, thanks for watching, guys. Do leave me a like. And consider subscribing to see the rest of Titanic, and of course the U-96 U-boat as well. But as always, guys, thanks and peace out. Okay, and just as a little addendum, a little bonus at the end, what I've done is I've mocked up where the bridge deck is going to sit, looking just like that, and there is roughly where our engines are going to be. Now, I think they'll be a bit lower down because I do have a box sitting underneath them to keep the propellers up. But yeah, that's roughly what that's going to look like. That's just absolutely stunning, isn't it? Absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, again, thanks for watching.